What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on the E36 M3, and hopefully we're going to get it running normally again. Because if you guys remember for the last video, or if you guys even saw the last video, there was a little bit of ticking coming from the bottom of the engine, which led me to believe it's probably the rod bearings on their way out. Because the car has a lot of miles, it has over 230,000 miles, and I never touched the rod bearings, and I don't think anyone else even touched the rod bearings before me. So we're hopefully going to be solving that issue in this video. I ordered the rod bearings already, but before changing those, I really want to change the oil in it. So the oil I put in there right now is 10W40, but I think I'm going to go ahead and change it to 5W30 and see how it runs with that oil before moving forward and changing the rod bearings themselves. So right now, as you can tell, my M3 has started, and I'm gonna head to the store, grab some new oil, a new oil filter, and then head back here and change the oil. Hopefully it all goes well. Hopefully it's just the oil and not the rod bearings, but I highly doubt that. So let's head to the store. As always, my M3 is dirty. We have secured the bag. Now it's time to get home. Alright guys, just made it back home. I got some fresh 5W30 full synthetic oil right here. It's the cheap O'Reilly brand because I just want to test it out right now. There's no need to get any expensive oil or anything like that. So 7 quarts will be good to go. For some reason they didn't have the oil filter, but either way I had put a new oil filter on there anyway, so that's fine just to test out right now. And I also went ahead and picked up some Red Bull because it's kind of a shame that I got a Red Bull fridge with 0 Red Bull in there. All I have is water in there. Gonna crack one open and then get to work. I gotta move the car back a little bit, lift it up in the air, and get that oil drained out of there. Alright guys, so I went ahead and drained all the oil out, and I also took the cap off the oil filter. You guys won't be able to see it, so I'm not even gonna bother showing, but I can see like metal flake in the oil. It's like glimmery and like shiny. That's how you can tell there's metal flake in there, which is definitely not a good sign, but it leads me to believe that my theory of it being the rod bearings is correct. Even in this oil, you guys won't be able to tell. This is actually brand new oil, but it just looks really dark. But in person you could definitely tell there's a lot of like metal shavings in there. I don't know how well you guys can tell on camera, but yeah, it's for sure gonna be the rod bearings. But I'm still gonna do that quick little oil change just to see if it makes a difference at all, which I don't think it will, but it's cheap anyway, so I don't really care. I'm just gonna do it just for the heck of it, just see if it makes a difference. Alright, I'm gonna give it a quick little start. Let's see how it runs. So I don't think you guys can catch it on camera, but you can still hear the ticking. It's not as bad as before, but you can still hear it definitely. So it looks like we're gonna be doing the rod bearings. So like I said before, I already went ahead and ordered the rod bearings because I just got off the phone with the place I ordered the bearings from, and they're actually in town. They came here a day early, which is way better, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick them up right now. Alright guys, so here are the new rod bearings. Let me go ahead and open it up real quick for you guys. These things are really cheap. So they are OEM spec. They only cost me like 70 bucks. I mean, that's my price. They go for 100, but for me it's 70 bucks. And then at the dealer, these same ones are $400, so saved a lot of money there. But yeah, we got all 12 rod bearings in here. Now I just gotta get cracking on getting these things onto the car. So first I'm gonna go ahead and jack the car up, and then start working on getting that subframe off of the bottom so I can get the oil pan off. Went ahead and lifted the car up on jack stands, and I also threw this engine brace on there so it can hold the engine up while I drop the subframe. So now I'm just gonna quickly drain the oil out of there and work on getting the subframe off.
Let me show you something.
I finally got this oil pan and everything off of there. Went ahead and took the baffle off of there as well. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and move to the top of the car. Since I got everything on the bottom taken care of, I have to get these coil packs out of here and also the spark plugs off here as well. So I could go ahead and turn the engine much easier. That way I could get to each rod bearing easier. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, coil packs are off of there and spark plugs are off as well. You just can't tell, but I went ahead and just left them in there. They're just all the way loosened and just resting in there. That way it's easier to put back on. But now we are finally ready to change out these rod bearings and see what the old ones finally look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this area down a little bit because as you can tell it's like really oily and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my area and then get working on getting these rod bearings off of there. Alright guys, so I went ahead and got one of the bearings off. This is the upper bearing right here. And this is the lower bearing right here with the rod cap. So this upper one is really bad. It actually seems like it was on its way out and it was probably going to spin a rod bearing and it would have been much more catastrophic and I would have probably had to pull an engine. So I'm glad I caught this sooner. So now I'm going to work one by one and change out these rod bearings. Well guys, the rod bearings are finally done. You guys won't be able to tell, but obviously I got them done. Here are all the old rod bearings. I believe the worst ones were cylinder 1 and also cylinder 6. I believe this was cylinder 6 right here. There was a score through the rod bearing. That line right there you guys see is a pretty bad score. But the crank itself was fine. So it was just the rod bearings that were bad. So now everything's good to go. I assembled everything back up with assembly lube and it was all torqued back to stock spec. So hopefully everything is good. Now all I gotta do is throw that oil baffle back on and throw this oil pan back on with the new gasket. Alright guys, it is the moment of truth. As you guys just saw, I got everything finished up. Threw new oil in there. Everything is back together. So now, fingers crossed, it runs normally and we don't have any more issues with this damn engine. Because I am sick and tired of it. Let's go ahead and start this thing up. Guys, just listen to how well this damn car runs. No ticking, no noise, no engine problems whatsoever. I am so happy about this damn thing. And I know you guys probably noticed this. I'll address that in the next video. As you guys can probably tell, there's like 2 lights on the dash. We don't even have a check engine light. But we do have a transmission light, which obviously we got the transmission wires and stuff are not plugged in, but I'll get that fixed later on. And we also have an airbag light, which I don't really know what that's for, to be honest, but I'll get that taken care of. Sorry about this damn windshield. I know it's like really dirty. It's just a lot of noises coming because obviously it's open right here. But other than that, even the steering wheel is like really straight. This thing got some good power behind it. I am so insanely happy. Well, that's it. We finally got the damn thing running and running normally. Obviously, that's gonna bring us to the end of this video. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the next video, which will be us starting the body work on the car and getting this thing ready for paint and getting it to look spotless again, because that paint definitely needs to be redone. It is horrible. All the clear coat is peeling and all kinds of stuff. So we got to get this thing painted ASAP because the weather is already starting to get bad. It's getting colder and we're getting a lot of rain. So we got to get this thing painted before it starts raining a lot and before it starts getting really, really cold out here. So yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned for the next video. As always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below what you guys think about this build, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.